everybody. Welcome today. Today we have an amazing person. His name is Vini V. I absolutely love him. I met him in CLA on one of our networking groups, and he is just an amazing individual. It takes somebody like I think really special to deal with financing and just keep a smile on your face all the time because not a lot of people like to deal with money all the time. But he has an interesting story, honestly, of why he actually started doing this stuff. He's based in Toronto right now, not always been based in Toronto, but for now, based in Toronto. And today we're going to explore not only a little bit more about him, what he does, but also some key things that you guys can do as entrepreneurs that I think can really change the way you're looking at your life and your finances and just kind of open up your mind a little bit. And also, Vinny has a free gift for us at the end of the conversation. So don't forget to stay in the video until the end of it so that you get the keyword to drop into the comments below so that you can get your free gift from Vinny. So Vinny, thank you so much for coming on this interview today. It's really great to have you. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
All right, no, thanks, Paige. Thank you so much for having me. It was great meeting you at CLA. I'm really glad that we have the opportunity to talk now. So yeah, a little bit more about me. So I'm not originally from Toronto, like you mentioned. Like I moved from São Paulo, Brazil, to Toronto about 8 years ago, and my background is actually in engineering. So which is completely different from what I'm doing right now. So I worked for a while with engineering and software development for laboratory softwares, and I was in Brazil. When I came to Canada, I worked with software development for databases, back end, front end, all that fun shit that everyone likes. So I mean, I liked doing it. So to be honest, was very happy, very content with what I was doing at the time. Like I had a great relationship with my teammates. I had good relationship with my boss at the company I was working for. But what I just did not enjoy was where my life was going. I didn't think I was going to be able to achieve the dreams that I had and the goals I knew that I was meant for if I just remained working as an employee and living someone else's dream. And also, like I really started getting tired of the whole complacency that we see in the workplace of people just saying that they hate Mondays, they can't wait for Fridays. I'm like, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. We need to
No.
wake up every day excited about what we're gonna do. And I was always involved with my own personal investments. And I thought that working on my personal finances was the way out of that race. So I started networking more and reading more and just trying to learn more about how I could improve my own personal finances. And then someone introduced me to a firm in downtown Toronto where they were running seminars where they were helping the population on financial education. And they were teaching very basic information on how people could deal with their money and live better lives. And I really thought not only the information was great, but their mission was incredible. So I talked to the organizers at the time, and they told me, well, Vinny, you're doing the financial part yourself for your own personal benefit. You already know that. Why don't you come work with us? And I was like, nah, I'm just a software developer. Why am I going to work with finances? That I'm not cut out to do that. But I would love to join your team, at least in an informal level, so I can learn more about financial strategy, so I can improve my own portfolio, get my future in the right track. And they were like, sure, why not? So that's what I did for a few weeks. But as I started joining these business meetings, I noticed that not all I wasn't just learning about finances, I was also learning about business development, communication, leadership, marketing, branding, business psychology. I was like, wow, there's so much more to this than I knew. So I talked to that team again, well, who now I call my team, and they mentored me and helped me get myself licensed so I could start doing this as a business. So I started by just helping some of my friends with their finances, finding solutions. I started learning about other solutions in the financial world that I had no idea were out there. And with time, my business grew to a point that I saw myself way more in financial services than I did in software. And I got to a point that I left my job in the software industry and started building the business and growing the agency full time. And I feel like my personal stake with this business, sure, I do want to use the business to make money, to live the dreams that I have. But when it comes to doing this for others, I want people to get out of the same situation that I was in people who are feeling that they are frustrated or in a complacent situation that they feel they can't get out of. And I want to show that through business and proper financial education, we can be the masters of our own future and we can design our lives the way we want.
No, I love that. And I think too, like you do relate to a lot of the feelings too when you were trying to switch out of that business 9 to 5 that like a lot of the entrepreneurs really relate to too. Because like I did the same thing. I was like, I am tired of hearing people complain about like coming back to work on Monday and you're working for the weekend kind of thing. And I just absolutely hated it. I'm like, aren't we supposed to be like I excited every day when we wake up in the morning? Like, isn't that supposed to
Yeah.
be a thing? So I totally understand that. And I think a lot of people can relate to exactly what you were saying for that as well. um, I know that you do have a passion for serving some entrepreneurs as well, just to help them with their financial independence and things like that. And when we talked before, when we first met, we talked a lot about the whole life insurance and things that you guys really work in. And I will tell
Yeah.
you, like, that was not the first time I've heard of it, like the whole life insurance, but it was not very long ago that I
Hmm.
learned about whole life insurance. And I think that people are not educated on this enough, and I think that maybe even just dropping a little bit of that information in here would be really beneficial to some of the people that might be listening to this, because it honestly, the first time I heard about it, I didn't even know it was a thing. It blew my mind in the fact that I was like, oh, this is this thing that exists. And I think people don't really understand the benefits of, especially if you're an entrepreneur, doing it, because of the fact that, a lot of insurance is not really beneficial to us. But
Hmm.
this, in contrast, is such a game changer, and I don't think people are educated enough in it. So do you mind like kind of going into that a little bit of like why this could be such a game changer for entrepreneurs?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, like a little bit of the general mechanics when it comes to life insurance, or whole life insurance. Like a whole life insurance is more than just a regular life insurance that's going to pay benefits to our families when we are no longer here. Sure, that part is important, but a lot of people they have the the complaints, let's put it this way, of like, hey, why am I paying for this if I'm not going to take any benefits when I'm still alive? So that's where whole life insurance comes along. It is something that we can grow money in a tax sheltered environment, because there are many accounts where we can either defer taxes or grow money tax free, but there are limits to that. Whole life insurance comes as another solution that we can grow our money tax sheltered and take benefits from that when we are still alive. We don't need to wait until we're dead to just have our families and our loved ones use that money. Now, why is that important for entrepreneurs though? Well, the thing is, first off, a lot of the entrepreneurs that I work with and some of my team members, they had this similar experience of entrepreneurs very focused on their task at hand, on growing their businesses, helping people around them, which was great, but they forget about their own future. They forget that at some point they're gonna want to retire. They're gonna want to stop, enjoy their children, enjoy their grandchildren, and they're not setting up their future for that. How can a whole life insurance help with that? Well, the thing is, entrepreneurs, especially incorporated entrepreneurs, there's a lot of tax benefits that they can take from that, because there's a lot of taxes that are done through corporation. I'm pretty sure that in the US it's similar to Canada, where corporations have a lower tax bracket in general than on personal level. And when entrepreneurs pay themselves using their corporation, that starts triggering their personal taxes. They pay themselves a salary, they give themselves dividends. And if they start doing that too much, their personal taxes are going to be too high. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they have all this money stuck in their corporation that they don't know what to do with, because they already maxed out their expenses. They are going to pay too much taxes in their personal level. So what you do, whole life insurance is a very good thing. First off, the corporation can open a whole life for the entrepreneur. That already helps with the fact that entrepreneurs, they have families, they have children, they are going to have the protection they need. But also, if the corporation does that and pays the life insurance using the money that is stuck inside, then entrepreneurs can borrow against this money in a tax-free way. So this means that now they don't get all the tax burden on their personal level. The corporation is protecting the entrepreneur and the family, And this can be used also as a retirement strategy. Like we were talking earlier about infinite banking strategies. That can also be used using this because entrepreneurs, they can cut deals with banks so they can get loans out of that whole life insurance every year that's going to support their living expenses. And this money is going to continue growing faster than they're going to spend it.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. And when I heard about it, it was because like a woman actually got into finance and stuff because her parents weren't into it. And so she
Mhm.
decided to start, really educating people in it. And the first thing that she talked about was the whole life insurance. And I was just like, oh my gosh, especially because like that means you can actually utilize it like when you can't work, like if you, God forbid, get some really horrible disease and you can't work. It's like
Mhm.
it's this whole, it's this thing because you don't have, leave, the benefit of taking leave and still getting paid. You don't have that
Yeah.
when you're not working for a corporation. So I really think that this is such a huge, huge opportunity for people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In order to like start getting educated in it, start like being mindful in it. And the thing is that it's people like you that really bring out, especially because like you have the background and you have the ability to educate people on it and to give them point them in the right direction. And I think there's so many people out there, especially in financial services, that have it's such a mixed bag when you're trying to find somebody, right? So this is why
Mhm.
we like to bring in really good financial representation inside of our referral partnerships because of the fact that we don't want people hunting and pecking on Google, trying to figure this out. Like there's so many people out there that are actually there to take advantage of you financially. And I think that that needs to stop. Like not every financial advisor is out there to do that, but it's like that's why we want to present amazing people like you to be like, listen, like if you do have questions about this, we've met this person, there are other people I know like just from CLA that have talked about working with you. Like it's just like it's a good process when you can get a referral from somebody as opposed to just kind of doing a crapshoot, which is why we wanted to bring people like you in to interview so people can say like, oh cool, like they've met somebody really cool that actually knows what they're talking about and is educated and isn't just trying to like, screw them. So I think it's great to be able to set it up with kids. Like there's so many entrepreneurs with kids. I have a kid, I have an 11-year-old, and there's so many people that haven't thought the next steps yet. Maybe they're just not old enough to, they don't think about that. We tend to think about financial struggles when we hit like 40, 50, 60 versus like 20, 30, 40, which is where we should
Yeah.
be looking at it. Because we're like, we're fine. We're not that old. It's fine. It's like now I'm like 42. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. Like it's a thing that has to happen, So I
Yeah.
think that being mindful of this and like taking some information from this, and if you heard something that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about this, like I didn't even know this was a thing, then I definitely encourage you to have a conversation with him because he has like it's even more than just a whole life insurance, guys. Like he's got like a whole Rolodex of stuff that he does
Yeah.
that we could probably spend hours talking about in this interview. But he's got a lot of depth of knowledge, and he does work with entrepreneurs. And I think that that's something that not a lot of financial advisors also do. Like a lot of them do stuff with corporations or maybe estates and things like that, but not as much just that individualized attention. And I think that this is really good. So if you guys have heard some things that you really want to go over, or if you're like not sure, first of all, this is a video on a social platform that you can comment on, which is amazing. So he can actually see your comments because he's going to be tagged in this video. But at the same time, he does have something really cool that he's going to be giving you guys for free, which I'd love for him to share about now, just so that you guys know what he's about, like what he's going to be sharing with you guys. And to kind of maybe even just use that opportunity to book a call with him so that you can dive further into maybe your own personal needs, which don't necessarily have to be shared on the internet, right? So, so go ahead and tell them about what you will be giving them as part of this, watching this video.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Paige. So yeah, well, in our educational process, we make things like a very simple, very systematic, and we are offering the opportunity to meet with myself and also part of my team so that we can figure out how we can put your finances together. And we're going to target this specifically for entrepreneurs as well and make sure we go through every aspect on how you can have a strategy that ties your personal taxes with your corporation. So if you use the word cash flow, we you can have this consultation and we can dive deeply into that.
Yes, absolutely, guys. I highly encourage you to take advantage of it. I don't feel like there's a lot of people out there that are doing that kind of like no stress consultation. So make sure that you take advantage of it. So comment cash flow in the comments below. Make sure you talk to Vinny. He's really low key. He's very good vibes. Like we love him. So definitely use this opportunity to get to know him and see what's out there, you know. And the bottom line is anytime you talk to any kind of financial person, you want to make sure that they work with you, that you talk to them, you get some questions answered regardless of if you move forward with that specific person or not. You're starting to set up yourself for success. And that's what we always do, is like we want to educate ourselves. And I'm going to tell you something. Vinny is one of those people that's very high quality. He's a good guy. He's going to give you the honest answers. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity he's giving you by commenting cash flow below, because he's one of the good ones. Okay. So thank you so much, Vinny, for coming on this interview today. It was a great pleasure catching back up with you again. And I hope that you guys took a little bit of something of what he said today to heart, and you take advantage of that free giveaway he's giving you.
Well, thank you, Paige. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate the brain grenade team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vinny. It was great to see you.